Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello race fans and welcome to the V8 Supercar Americas Series presented by V8 Online. And welcome to our final week of Season 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it is week 12 and we are ready for Mount Panorama, aka Bathurst, for 34 laps. It is going to be quite a way to end our incredible season. Kane Craft with me tonight, guys. I'm JD Smith, and we are happy to be here with you guys throughout tonight's event. Kane, how are you tonight, buddy?
All I can say is that I'm really excited. 2015 Season 3 is about over. It's been a pretty good success. It's been an exciting season, and we're here at the season finale at Bathurst, one of my favorite tracks to watch. It's, man, what a beautiful track this is, and the drivers that will be here tonight racing this difficult track, it's definitely going to be a great show. Got some great drivers here. A championship that's coming to a conclusion tonight. We got Ethan Greg Gold that's ahead in the series by 162 points, ahead of second place Marlon McMullen. It looks like it's all wrapped up for Ethan, but there is still just that glimmer of a hope for Marlon. If something were to happen, if something would happen and not be able to show up tonight, a computer failure or something like that, then Marlon would be in the position to be able to win the championship. If Ethan would grid and something happened and him DNF in last place, then Marlon still has a chance at the championship. So although Ethan has it all but wrapped up, there is still that glimmer for Marlon.
Yeah, Kane, it's all but about in the history books, and it is, kind of a passing of the torch as we are here at the end of Season 3, and it actually is going to set us up wonderfully for our finale of 2015 and set us up beautifully for 2015. You have the defending champ tonight, and he has a small chance of hanging on, as you just mentioned, but also Ethan Greg Gold has his chance to win his very first V8 Supercar Americas title, and that could happen right on the show tonight, guys. So we're happy to have you here with us, and we hope that you guys remain with us through tonight's event. It's going to be a longer race than traditionally. We've been to Bathurst many times in this series. I don't think we've had a race quite
3 laps down
as long as we're going to have tonight. I don't believe we've had one quite so long. So really looking forward to tonight's event, and I think it's going to bring us a lot of excitement.
It is, and as the season comes to a close, let's talk to a couple of the drivers that have participated all season long, and get their thoughts on the season. Let's talk to a veteran Targa driver that has joined the series. It's been a pretty big part of the V8 Supercars Americas series, Tony Klusterman. Tony, welcome to the broadcast, and welcome to the finale show here at Bathurst.
Thanks a lot, guys. Looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be a huge crowd tonight, so it'll be exciting.
It is going to be exciting. Bathurst is always exciting. As we come to a close here in the season, what are your guys' thoughts of the season? It seemed like participation may have been a little down this season, but the excitement was still there. It seemed like a lot of the, I don't know, the bigger name drivers didn't show up a lot this season because of the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series, but that allowed some other drivers to come up, participate, and really have a lot of good battles throughout the field.
Yeah, I think there was. We've got the top guys, obviously, Ethan and Marlon, and a couple of the others there, Marty. And they obviously are the class of the field, but a couple of us guys that are running a little farther back are getting an opportunity to run now and then. Rory Windrum and Jim Davey and Ryan Shelton, Victor Tanaka. So yeah, I think we're starting to see some fellows move into that first split, and although we're not top five yet, we're getting there.
Yeah, it's not far away. You mentioned it's really good that you guys get an opportunity to kind of step up to the plate and introduce yourselves to the series in that top split. And it really kind of sets us up for a great season 4 and a great way to take out this 2015 year with you guys stepping up to the plate next season. Like Kane said a minute ago, participation was down a little bit this season. What is kind of some ideas on that as we move forward to the 4th season? How can we turn that around, guys?
Well, we had some discussion early this year around the Thursday night drop versus Friday night, and I don't know if that maybe chased some people away from doing either one or the other night. If they had a really good night on Thursday, maybe they wouldn't participate on Friday. So I think that's something we have to take a look at. And, we just got to keep advertising the V8 Supercars Americas. I think that we're starting to see some people migrate over now.
I think it's something that seriously needs to be looked on the short off season, and literally look at this whole deal where if you have a great Thursday night race, there's no reason for you to race on Friday night. In fact, it'll hurt you. And I believe that's the case with several drivers tonight. I know one, I'll keep them nameless, but I know they won't be in tonight's event because they had a good night last night and they don't want to mess that up. So maybe that's something that needs to be looked at, but I think as participation as a whole, I think it'll get back. Sometimes numbers just kind of fluctuate up and down, and this
Season
is
3, not to interrupt, but Season 3 always has that lack of participation. Season 3 seems to always be that kind of down season as it's summertime, and people here in America, it's summertime, and people are out, doing summertime activities such. And then as fall comes in, regular race season, both in Australia and here in America, settle down, and so people tend to migrate back to their PCs, and so we do see a bigger participation in Season 4 and Season 1 than in Season 3 is always kind of that lackluster season, I guess, but we do got a lot to expect with Season 4 coming up. And
yeah, I have to agree with you, Kane. The summertime definitely does put a damper on the numbers, so hopefully in the fall we'll see some better numbers.
Speaking of some things coming up for Season 4, let's take just a second to talk to Marlon McMullen. Marlon, are you there?
Yeah, guys, sorry.
Yeah, I know I cut you right in the middle of some practicing and stuff, but I want to take a minute, as you are the current champion, the reigning champion coming in here tonight. You are the Season 2 champion. You won that season by only 2 points in the very last race. An amazing finale. And come in here tonight, the final race of the season, 162 points separate you and Ethan Greg Gold. Like I was saying just a little bit ago, you do have a glimmer of a chance of if something serious were to happen, but it's looking like Ethan Greg Galt, man, he really had a fantastic season. Looks like there is a great chance that Ethan could end up being the champion here tonight. What are your thoughts on Ethan and his season so far this year? This season?
Yeah, most definitely. You've summed it up quite well. I mean, it was quite different than what it was 3 months ago with the Battle of Sean. And we did monitor Ethan, and we knew he was going to be a hell of a challenger this season. So all I had to do this season was come in there and try my best against him. But he's so fast, honestly, and he's done a great season this season. He hasn't had really any too much faults, that I can put down to, and he's just kept it nice and clean and consistent, which is what you need to do. So, he's put himself in the right position tonight. He's got a really big, healthy lead, but with Bathurst being Bathurst, and I know I've only got like maybe a 5 or 10% chance. Anything can happen here, so you just want to keep it off the walls tonight. And I've got in my mind what I need to do, but at the end of the day, I know it's going to be a pretty impossible feat compared to a few months ago. But I'm happy. I've done a pretty good season this one, so I'll be the first person to congratulate him when he crosses the line.
Well, you've certainly had a good season yourself. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed about by any means. You've showed up every single race and have given it your all. So, you've done just about all you can do. You definitely can be proud of yourself at the end of this season. I mean, you gave all you could to try to contend with Ethan, and you came as close as anybody. I mean, Ethan really has been extraordinarily tough. The other week I mentioned Ian Ford's YouTube channel and the things that he was doing. I forgot to mention your YouTube channel and the things that you have going on your YouTube channel. You upload videos of different races and different sporting events, and even some gameplay footage as well on your YouTube channel. So I do want to mention that, the Marlin Vivo 1 on YouTube. But on top of all that, you've started making some videos, and you've started, man, what a great job you've been doing on these videos. Sorry, my tongue got a little tied there. You even helped us out with a video. You made a video for our intro going into season 4. So talk for a second about it before we run out of time here and you have to go qualify.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm the same at the moment in the morning, just trying to get my tongue untwisted as well. Yeah, most definitely. I went out there and try to make you guys a new introduction video. And I just wanted to sort of reflect the series, of all the drivers who come in and dedicate their time to racing this great series, which has been around for about 9 seasons now, which is a hell of a job that you two guys have done. And we appreciate all your efforts. So I just wanted to make something for you guys that you could look back on and enjoy. And, hopefully all the guys out there really enjoy it, because I tried to do something a bit different. I had to look at all the other introduction videos, and, they're all great and known outright. So I wanted to try and push myself and make something different. And I thought, one of the best things that we could do is use the old RPM theme intro song, because it's very synonymous with Australian racing. Everyone knows it when they were a kid or a bit younger. And I don't know, every time you just heard that song, you're really excited to go race and see the V8 supercars in action. So I just wanted to give back to the community, and I thought, one of the best way I could do it was make hopefully a nice introduction video everyone will appreciate. So.
And we definitely do appreciate that video. It is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
A very amazing video. Marlon, thank you. We're going to go ahead and introduce the video. We're going to let you get back to your race as qualifying's about to start. I'm going to put you back in your channel, and we're going to start this video and let the viewers take a look.
All right, guys. I think that should be a crack of a race today.
Oh, it will. Wish you best of luck, buddy. So here it is, guys. A world premiere of our brand new intro video for season 4. Kane, let it roll, buddy. Out of opportunities, an incredible move. What a deserved victory. We tried, well, brilliant job. And now we got a race for the lead.
He's off into the wall.
Oh, there's a contact. He's gonna go to the inside. Ding, 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 ding.
Awesome video, JD. Couldn't appreciate that anymore from Marlon McMullen. Great job he did on the video, and thanks. We appreciate anything anybody does for us. We've had several people throughout throughout the seasons that we've done this that have contributed little bits and pieces, and this was one of those things. As Marlon pointed out in this video, 9 seasons we've been doing this Gate Supercars
Wow.
broadcast, and 9 seasons. we don't ask for anything back from anybody. We just do it. And so to get these little, almost like tips, I guess, whenever somebody does something like this, it's like almost like a tip to us for you coming and doing this show every Friday, and it feels good to know that we're appreciated and know that the viewers enjoy watching the series. And Marlon has been a very big part of the American series, to be honest. He's been here each and every season that we've been broadcasting, and he's won the series 4 times. So just couldn't appreciate the effort that he's put into this video anymore.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on it, and we're looking forward to seeing it every race next season, guys. Kane, I tell you what, man, in 9 seasons, buddy, it has been quite a journey, and we've seen a lot of people come and a lot of people go in this series, and it's really good seeing some new names out there and even some of the old ones. And we're going to see a big crowd tonight. There's going to be 3 splits tonight. It's definitely Bathurst, and you can tell that when you see these 3 full splits. And I'm excited, man. We got qualifying that's fixing to get underway very shortly. In fact, I'm loading my screen up now, so the guys are getting ready for qualifying. I do want to point out, even though this is a 34-lap race and we're going to see 1, possibly 2 pit stops tonight, this is going to be one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season. This is going to be so monumental for the race on where your starting position is. Track position here is going to be critical. Like I said, even with a long 34-lap race, you want to get that best start you can. If you can get up ahead of traffic, we know what can happen here when guys get congested at Bathurst and this road gets real narrow. It gets scary, and you can get caught up in something, and your day can get ended very soon. So we're going to be bringing you guys qualifying any moment now. And but thanks again, Kane, for sharing that and showing us that. Like I said, it's a world premiere. You guys saw it for next season. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that next season.
I'm looking forward to next season just in general. It's going to be a fantastic season. Season 4 always seems to pick up the pace. Like I said earlier, season 3 seems to be kind of a down season. Then, since a lot of people took a lot of time off of racing in the regular season, we see a lot of people come back and race in that season 4. And I'm hoping that's the case this year, that we see some drivers that have taken some time off come back and join back into the fun.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And qualifying is underway. Right now, no times are recorded, so it's just, getting all the cars getting out there, guys getting the tires warmed and getting a feel for the track. Kane, it's Bathurst time again, buddy.
Yes, it is.
And guys, all the viewers out there tonight, thank you so much for all that you do. And, you guys show us a lot of support each and every week. We have a group of diehard viewers each and every week, and we personally thank you guys for coming each and every week. It means the world to Kane and myself. We do this because we enjoy it, and we do this because we believe these guys deserve this broadcast. And we have been a huge supporter of the America Series as long as we've been here. Kane's been a supporter of the series longer than we've been here. He's the reason that we came here. And ever since that I have come, I have enjoyed this series tremendously. And I really do hope that this series continues to grow and continues the tradition that it has, because it has a very storied tradition here. And it's going to cap off our Season 3 tonight in fashion, guys. I guarantee you an entertaining race tonight. It is going to happen. Let's take a look, Kane, at qualifying as it is currently underway. We have started seeing some results on the board as 10 cars have posted time. And on top of that board, it is Ethan Grigalt. So currently right now the best time, the time to beat, is from the number 2 Simpit Holden, and it is a 2 minutes 4.6 seconds. That is the time to beat currently. Close to that is William Levesque, and William Levesque is in the number 3 car, and he is close. He's only 1/10 off, really within a tenth of that time. PJ Sturgios, how about a great run from him as well? He's also in striking distance, as he's just a couple tenths off in the Pagny and Ford Falcon. Corey Preston also posting a fast time. He is in the 4th spot currently, and Marty Carroll rounds out the top 5. Great time from Marty Carroll there in his Simpit Falcon. He's running a 2:05.3. So these times will continue. But remember, guys, this isn't like a lot of the tracks that we run. This is over 4 miles in length, and this track is long. It takes over 2 minutes to get around. We only have a 12-minute qualifying session, so these laps are ever important. You've got to get out and get that winning time done very quickly, or you're not going to get it down.
Yes, long laps here at Bathurst, and that with only a 12-minute time. You're right. You got to get out, get it done, and try to get the very best lap you can really quick. Usually these guys will try and set a banking lap right off the bat, and then come out and try to set a fast lap. But these guys are going to have to try right away to set the very fastest lap that they can.
Right outside of the top 5, it is Marlon McMullen in 6th currently, and behind him it's Mitchell McLeod in 7th. 8th quickest time for the moment in the Simspec Falcon. That is the number 9 car of Jason Dixon. He just got knocked down as Jake Burton just popped up into the top 10. Also Leighton Fine in 9th. Down in 11th, it's Jason Dixon. Jason Quire is currently 12th fastest. Todd Parks, Leon Tander 13th and 14th, and then Jeremiah Morton 15th. We've yet to see times from some pretty big names. One in Bo Cattell. Right now, the number 5 machine currently starting his flying lap, trying to get a good time recorded. And he's flirting with the timer as we're already 8.5 minutes in to qualifying. Remember, only 12 minutes. Also, some damage to the front left side of Bo Cattell's number 5 machine. And I think that kind of tells the story of his qualifying efforts thus far. Hopefully he can get the SimWorks machine back on track and get a good starting position. Michael Healy and Victor Tanaka, the only 2 left that have not posted times. So we shall see. And at the moment, it is still Ethan Grigalt on the pole. Can anybody knock off that 2:04.6? It's going to be close. And one of the drivers I'm really wanting to keep an eye on is Corey Preston, Kane. We heard in pre-race talks he had some really fast times in practice, and he's due for a big day.
The driver I'm going to keep an eye on is here in 2nd place, William Levesque. In the YouTube chat, it's so funny because he said in the YouTube chat, "This is my very first time racing," and the guys were kind of giving him advice, having not seen his name before. They're like, just take it easy off the start, especially, and if you need to, start in the pits. You know, Bathurst a tough race. You know, good advice, but William definitely comes in showing maybe his very first time racing in the V8 Supercars Americas Series, but he's no newbie.
Yeah, obviously posting the 2nd fastest time in an incredible group of drivers. And that is very impressive. I mean, he's only just off of our pole sitter, within a tenth, like I said, just a couple hundredths of a second off. And just very, very impressive from William Levesque. All right, guys, just under 2 minutes are remaining. And we have seen a couple new drivers, and we do have a new pole sitter momentarily, guys. Bo Cattell in the number 5 SimWorks Osram. What a job from the number 5 Holden. He has put a new pole time of 2:04.5.
Fantastic job from last year's winner here, or not last year's, but last season's winner here in the V8 Supercars Americas Series here at Bathurst.
Unbelievable lap there from the SimWorks Osram machine, and he is currently the time to beat. Kane, will we see that time knocked off? I don't know. We're running out of time. We are down to 1 minute to go, Ethan Grigalt giving it another run. William Levesque, he's out giving it another run. Corey Preston, PJ Sturgios has got knocked down to 5th. That is what happens when you have some other guys come up and knock everybody down. Mick Cracknell sneaks up just outside of the top 5 with a great time for him. He snuck in right ahead of Marty Carroll. In the Pagnian Falcon. Man, it is going to be one heck of a race. All right, guys, we are 10 seconds in counting left in qualifying. If you don't start a lap now, you will not get another one done. Jeremiah Morton is the last car to cross the start-finish line. So everybody else is going to have to finish what they have now. And if not, they're just going to have to be satisfied with the time that they have. Here comes some cars getting ready to cross the finish line right now. One in Jake Burton coming around Hell Corner. Or pardon me, I had that so wrong. That's turn 1. I apologize. Here he comes today, Co-Powerbond Machine. Can he improve his time? No. Yes, he can, but not enough. It's a 205.1, not enough to move him up, although he is in 7th now. All right, so also coming across with another car to keep an eye on is Marlon McMullen in the Wilson Security Ford Falcon. He is currently in 8th. Can he improve on his time? I don't know if he's going to make it back around, Kane. I think he will. He's coming over the crest of the mountain now, so he should be able to make it before that timer runs out. They must get this lap completed within 1 minute and 40 seconds from now, and so he should have plenty of time to get that done. Behind Marlon McMullen, it's another shot for Victor Tanaka. And PJ Sergio's coming down. He's got a lot of speed. Yeah, coming around Conrad Straight. He's carrying a lot of speed. And we'll see what kind of time he can post. He is currently 6th on the board. And the number 4 TTL Machine is coming around to finish his lap. And as he takes the left on Murray's corner, let's see what he posts, guys. It's going to be interesting to see if he can bust down into the 204s. He does, but it's not enough to move him past Mitch McLeod. He'll remain in 6th, so he did improve his time, but unfortunately was not able to improve the position. Here comes Marlon McMullen, and Marlon has trouble into the inside retaining wall. Just went a little bit too aggressive, and he will remain in the 9th position, Kane. So unfortunate there for Marlon McMullen, and Jeremiah Morton comes over to complete qualifying, guys. So now I will go ahead, we'll do our starting order since everybody has officially completed. This is how your Bathurst final race will look. Bo Cattell will be on the pole, guys, with a time of 2:04.5. In second place, it'll be Ethan Grigalt, who is set to win this championship. In row 2, it'll be William Levesque. In third, fourth, it'll be Corey Preston. In fifth place, it'll be Mitch McLeod with PJ Sturgios in 6th. Michael Cracknell will be in the 7th slot with 8th belonging to Jake Burton. Marlon McMullen will be in the 9th position with Marty Carroll rounding out their top 10. Michael Healy takes 11th with Jason Dixon on the outside of him in 12th. 13 belongs to Leighton Fine with Dale Niche getting 14th. 15th goes to Kane Kujimaya with Leon Tander. 16th, Jason Quire. 17th, 18th, Victor Tanaka. Todd Parks in 19th. And to close out the 20-car field, guys, it'll be Jeremiah Morton in the number 20 machine. And, Kane, we're getting ready for 34 incredible laps around this 4-mile artistic, beautiful racing heaven known as Mount Panorama. This place is unbelievable, and the guys are already starting to get gridded up here. So get the excitement turned on, guys. Viewers, get ready. Leave your comments. Let's have some fun. Go ahead and make your picks for the night, if you will. And let's have some fun, guys, as these guys get ready to take the green flag. Yeah, Wooks just can't jump the gun and get the checkered flag yet, buddy.
Yeah, Bathurst, a long race here today. 2 pit stops these guys are looking at, and then they're going to be pretty close at that, from what I hear.
So no chance of one in fuel saving then, huh?
No, it's going to be close to 2 in fuel save, and I think the guys are going to get through with 2 okay without having to fuel save, but it's close.
Wow, that is going
It
to
was
be
really
fun.
close to almost 3 stops.
That is going to be really fun. So we're in for a big night of racing, guys. And as you know, here at the beginning, I need to go ahead and get my breath because I'm sure it's going to be one heck of a start to the race. Every race this season, it has been fireworks at the drop of the green flag. And I see no different coming into today's race, our season finale. And let's get them revved up, guys. We're getting ready to go racing here at Bathurst. The lights are on, the flag is green, and we're racing. It's a race down into turn 1. Bo Cattell leads the 20-car field. Down into Hell Corner. Let's see if we all get through safe. So far, so good, Kane. Everybody getting feathered out here as we go 3 wide down Mountain Straight, and it is a good move from Marlon McMullen to break up the 3 wide and move ahead. Corey Preston side by side with Mitch McLeod right now. On the inside, it is Corey Preston. Mitch McLeod with a great aggressive run. Too bad he gets stuck on the outside, not enough grip on the tires, and he's going to lose 2 positions. A great move from Corey Preston and PJ Sturgios. Now the cars making their way up the mountain. Right now, Corey Preston leads from about 5th back, and it is all single filed out as these guys get set in for 34 incredible laps around the mountain. Bo Cattell with a nice sized lead right now over Ethan Greg Galt. He's got about a 4-car length lead, and William Levesque falls in 3rd. Then we got a few cars back, and it's Corey Preston followed by PJ Sturgios, Mitchell McLeod, Jake Burton, and Marlon McMullen up here in the front. Wow, incredible start to tonight's race, guys. And Kane, it's just a beautiful thing watching these guys on the opening lap. We got 33 more laps just like it. Oh, we got big trouble on the backstretch. It's Corey Preston who gets sent around, and he somehow gets back going, but the engine may be blown. Oh, that happened so fast, Kane, and I don't know how that didn't get anybody else involved. I'm going to go back and take a quick peek at what happened there to the number 14 Apexy machine, and he was coming down the mountain. That's actually the boost machine tonight, and he just had a little bit of contact as he got ready to hit on Conrad Straight, and it sent him around. He did make a little bit of contact with Mitch McLeod as Mitch was trying to get through, and I hope that doesn't give too much damage to either car there. It looked to be heavy damage done to Corey Preston's number 14 6-boost Falcon, though, and that is so unfortunate. He was running in 4th position at the time of impact.
Yeah, Corey with a lot of pace here today. That's definitely bad luck for Corey.
So Corey's race looks to be over very early. He may be able to get the car back out there, but highly doubtful. His teammate currently rides in 13th position. Right now he has some traffic behind him. Leon Tander looking to get up there and fight in there for that 13th spot. Good little pack of cars ahead of them, guys. And that is led by Michael Cracknell in 9th. He's got Jason Dixon, Michael Healy, Kane Kujamaya right there behind him. Those guys all filed in nose to tail. And then we got another good battle up here around 7th. It's Marlon McMullen and Marty Carroll.
Yeah,
Boy,
so far the action's looking like it's going to be fantastic here tonight as Ethan Greg Galt with William Levesque all over the bumper. They're going down the mountain.
Yeah, William Levesque coming down the mountain right now, right there on the bumper of the Sim Pit Holden of Ethan Greg Galt. And right now the ICRC Holden of William Levesque. And don't ask me to say what is on the side of the car.
Side by side, Jake Burton and, shoot, who is that? Is that Mitch McLeod?
I'm letting you do it, brother. That is Mitchell McLeod in the DIYsim.com Holden. And he is right on the bumper of the Dayco Powerbond machine. He's going to move to the inside. There's not going to be enough room. He's going to have to be patient. But patience is going to be quite the virtue with the number 17 Wilson security car right behind him. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Marlon McMullen, and he is coming now. He thinks better about it, and he's going to be patient behind Mitch McLeod. He's got to do something, though, Kane, because behind him is Marty Carroll. Marty has got right back up on the bumper of Marlon McMullen, and Marty will not hesitate to make a move.
Yeah, Marlon definitely in a tough spot there. He's got Mitchell McLeod ahead and Marty Carroll behind. He's definitely in a tough position. Jake Burton having a great race here today, up in 5th place. Finds himself behind PJ Sturgis, who's starting to pull away. And then, of course, William Levesque in 3rd place, still chasing down Ethan Griggold.
Right now, Bo Cattell has an incredible lead right now for this early in the race. Can the number 5 machine get out and take this thing early? It's going to be hard. Even if he gets a huge lead, they've still got 2 pit stops to contend with. So I wouldn't get too comfortable. It is nice that he can run a little stress-free for a while, but it's going to be fun to watch as this thing kind of pans out. Ooh, Jake Burton with kind of a little scary moment there as he's coming down the mountain right now and got a little bit loose. Nothing wrong, though, with the number 7 Dayco machine. Oh, man, I thought we were about to have a bad one. No. In the back of the pack, couldn't quite tell who that was, but it was close. Looks like Dale Niche. In fact, that is Dale Niche, and in front of Dale, that is Leighton Fine. And Leighton Fine just made a move on Dale Niche, so a good job for the Mad Cow Racing car. He'll move up to 13th. You know, the guys, as entertaining as the race has been thus far, Kane, we're only on a lap number 5 here.
Woo! Goodness
and
sakes.
We've got so...
Leon Tander. We're trying to find out who that was. Todd Parks. It was Todd Parks now into Leon Tander. Knocks Leon Tander a little goofy, but he's going to stay on track. But, yeah, Todd Parks come over the curb and got up on 2 wheels. That was nuts. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, no, I'll let you guys, when you got it, I'm going to let you run with it, my man. Don't worry.
Big battle up by Jason Dixon. Jason Dixon, Michael Healy, Mick Cracknell. Mick Cracknell up at the head of this battle with Jason Dixon and Michael Healy.
Ooh, contact into the wall is Jake Burton. He's got the pressure put on from Mitch McLeod, and it's causing small mistakes. He just made pretty good contact with the wall there, and that is going to make the car, I mean, I don't think it's enough to do major damage, but if he keeps tacking the wall like that, the car, the suspension, everything will get off a little bit, and it's going to make this race a lot longer for Jake Burton if he can't get this thing to kind of steady out a little bit. Looks like he may be fighting with the car a little bit. In fact, here comes a look from Mitch McLeod. Mitch knows that he's got him shooken up. Here he comes down the straight, and he's going to go down to the inside. Can he make it happen? It's an easy pass from the number 6 DIYSim.com of Holden, and a great pass right there from Mitch McLeod to move up into the 5th position. Welcome to the top 5, Mitch McLeod. Marlon McMullen now is going to look to do the same thing. He's got his sights set on Jake Burton as well. Jake Burton just got to regather his thoughts here and hang on. He's doing well. Just had a small hiccup, and it cost him a position. Here comes another look, but it's not going to happen yet as the Wilson Security Falcon decides to hang back and try again later. All right, down Mountain Straight right now, and here comes Marlon McMullen now getting a little bit of a push from Marty Carroll. And Marty's going to think about coming in and getting a little bit of a view. That's all it's going to be, though. Didn't have enough momentum to get around McMullen. He's going to have to just ride in that draft down the straight there. Boy, I tell you what, once Mitchell McLeod got in fresh air and got around Jake Burton, his car has looked very, very good. A little bit loose there on exit, but the car is looking well. He's starting to break away from the pack. Unfortunately, Kane, the number 4 Hackney and TTL machine of PJ Sturgio starting to wing off a little bit there in 4th place. He has kind of fallen off a little bit from William Levesque and Ethan Griggault. Just a little bit, not much. He's still up there. It's just starting to fall back a tad there. He's just a little bit off the pace. Maybe he can try to make a small adjustment during one of the first stops here and get the car on track here and get back up there and battle for a podium spot here late in the race.
That being said, William Levesque right there on the bumper of Ethan Griggault. Looks like he might give it a shot.
Yeah,
he's going to hang back.
He's been there the entire race. Those two have not been further apart from a car length the entire 5 laps thus far. And very patient driving from William Levesque. Also, I will go ahead and say patient driving from Ethan Griggault as well. Very impressed with his composure early in the race. He's had tons of pressure put on by Levesque, and he's been able to be as calm as you can be. You wouldn't know he was racing for a championship today. All right, guys, a little bit further back in the field, Jason Quire in the number 17 Sim Pit Holden. He's trying to improve his race a little bit. He is back in 15th at the moment, but he's been known to carry some good pace, so hopefully Jason Quire can get it turned on and move up a little bit.
Jason Quire demoing the Season 4 skin of some of those Sim Pit cars.
It's absolutely beautiful. I love that paint. It's gorgeous. And remember a few laps back, Kane, when Leighton Fine made the move around Dale Niche and started to drive off. Dale Niche has remained right there on the tail of Leighton Fine. And right now, it looks like Dale Niche may be getting ready to try something here in about a half a lap's time. And he would love to try to make something happen in the 6-boost Falcon. Remember, his teammate Corey Preston's race ended quite early today with an unfortunate incident coming down the backside of the mountain. And just to confirm that, Corey Preston is in the pits. It does not look like he will return. His day looks like it will be over. Very unfortunate because he had a lot of pace here at Bathurst this week from what we were hearing.
Todd Parks reeling in Jason Quire a little bit there. He's really getting onto the bumper there, way under the half-second mark. So Todd Parks could be looking to put a move on Jason Quire.
Todd Parks looking all over, just can't find the momentum needed to make it around Quire there. Michael Healy having a look at Jason Dixon, and he's caught his way up there, and he's going to battle for a top 10 spot there as the Sim Spec Holden or Falcon battles right here. This is the battle for 10th place as Jason Dixon able to hold on to it momentarily. But that's right, Jason Dixon in the Sim Spec Engineering Falcon battling Michael Healy in the hybrid racing simulations. How long's it been since we've said that, Kane? It's good to see them back. The old hybrid racing simulations car right there, the Holden, the number 13 of Michael Healy, the TTR racer.
Yeah, we haven't seen the TTR guys too awful much this season. They've really been concentrating on the 8-Scop series, but it's good to see one here today.
It is. It really is good to see them, and you need to come visit us more in the America series. Jake Burton been very good ever since he lost the position to Mitch McLeod a couple laps ago. He has had Marlon McMullen, the defending champion in the series, right on his tail for about 3 laps now. And he has done really good being able to keep out in front of the Wilson Security Falcon of Marlon McMullen. very, very good job from Jake Burton. Jake is praying for a pit stop here. He wants to get in, get some repairs done to the car, and get back out there and try to fight back to get his spot back from Mitch McLeod. But right now, he's purely on the defensive. Marlon McMullen really had a good run coming out of Conrad Straight. As they head down into Murray's Corner, he looks to the inside, but definitely not going to be a possibility. It won't happen here on lap 7. And the guys were starting lap 8. Remember, 34 laps for tonight's race. And, sorry, I heard something sound like a crash, but did you hear that too?
Yeah, I heard it. Not sure where it was, but sometimes those crashes come through really loud.
Jason Quire is headed down pit road. I'm going to go back and see if
serious damage too.
I don't see anything that happened to Jason, but he is headed down pit road. Oh yeah, he had a little incident into the wall. He was coming down the mountain there, not far. Oh man, and got into the outside wall. That's coming down the old dipper. And nailed the car, and good job avoiding that incident was the number 16 car of Leon Tander. He did a really good job to get around the sim pit, Holden. Also, in front of Jason Quire, Todd Parks got around that very well, or very good as well. All right, let me get a skin check here. You got Todd Parks in the number 18, Light Up Balgola. So Todd Parks is in the number 18, Light Up Balgola, and then behind him it's Leon Tander in another Light Up Balgola paint. So I just want to make sure they were in the exact same paint and my eyes weren't playing tricks on them. Boy, Dale Niche, he has had his eyes set on. He has just been trying to get Leighton Fine now for, multiple laps. We have another issue. I heard it again. I'm hearing crashes, buddy. Just not seeing them.
Ethan Grigg into the pits.
So, some of the first pit stops of the race starting to happen. Ethan Grigg in real trouble right now because William Levesque is finally got right on the bumper, and he almost gave Ethan a little bit of a scare there. And this is for second place, guys. The battle for second place. I just want you to realize this battle has been going on for 8.5 laps strong, or 7.5 laps. Incredible battle between these two. This is for second place. And you heard it early in the race from Kane. They were talking about William Levesque being new. I don't think he has to worry about advice, Kane. This guy has got it going on right now. All right, just to let you guys know, remind you out front, it is the number 5 Osram machine. And I tell you what, the SimWorks Osram Holden of Bocatel, remarkable start to the race, able to clip off the podium or the pole right at the end of qualifying, and a remarkable start through 8 laps, guys. It has been all Bocatel out front. And will he be able to continue his ways and his winning traditions here at Bathurst, or will we see things change over the endurance of 34 laps here? It's going to be happening in just a little while, guys. Don't go anywhere. Remain right here with us. We're happy to have you here. And Kane, this is it, buddy. We can go ahead and say we're about almost 1/3 done with the race. We should start to see more guys headed down towards pit road very shortly, and that's going to bring a lot of importance to this race.
Yeah, sure. The pit stop's definitely going to change things up quite a bit. It's going to give some people some advantage to make some gains. Boy, Mick Cracknell all over the bumper of teammate Marty Carroll.
Yeah, I was looking, and Marlon McMullen was chasing down Jake Burton, and Jake Burton has disappeared. He must be down pit road.
Yeah, he took a pit stop, and that kind of moved him back. I don't know.
He's
Let's take a look at
exited.
his pit stop and see if he took enough time to fix anything, or if his car was doing well enough where he just went ahead. 15.9, that's about what you would expect. Several cars in with damage. Jason Dixon, Jason Quire, and Corey Preston all getting some repairs fixed.
Right now, if you're wondering where Jake Burton was, he's just made his way around Jeremiah Morton, who is in the 18th position. And so Jake Burton's still doing wonderful, obviously still on the lead lap. You can make a pit stop here and remain on the lead lap. And that's just how big this track is, exceptionally big. But the Dayco machine looks like it had minor repairs done, so as far as aesthetically speaking, the car doesn't have the same damage I'm showing. So I don't think he had major repairs done, but at least small ones that may have, been tinkering with the handling a little bit or something like that. So I kind of have to watch his handling and see if he's fighting the car or if he's got a smooth ride.
It seems like he's doing okay. His lap times are, of course, he's on his out lap on the last one that was recorded, but just looking at him compared to Mitch McLeod behind him, Jake's really got good pace so far.
Another pit stop for another driver. It is the number 6 car of Mitch McLeod in the DIYSim.com machine. He is headed down into the box right now to get some fresh tires, topped off with some fuel, and get ready to head back out. It's been a big day for Mitch McLeod. He's done very well so far. Another car headed down pit road. It's Dale Niche, he's heading down pit road. He's pitted in at the 11th position, and he had a little time getting in his box. No problems for him, as he is in between Jason Dixon and Jason Quire, as those guys getting some serious repairs done. Marty Carroll exited his box right now and headed back out onto the track. So Marty Carroll looked like a good stop. I don't know the time on it, but he's going to come out right in front of Jeremiah Morton. So Jeremiah Morton's kind of that timestamp of where you come out of the pits. And with Dale Niche pitting, that's going to break up that battle between him and the Mad Cow Racing machine. They had been going for so long, and that was just such a fun battle to watch. Him and Leighton Fine. Leighton Fine right now in 10th position. He's coming over the top of the mountain right now. And he's looking ahead to Kane Kujamaya, who's listed in 9th position right now. And those guys could get a little racy on the downside of the mountain. They still have their pit stops to be made.
Back behind those guys, Ethan Greg Galt, who has got his pit stop out of the way.
And our leader has yet to come down pit road. You should see him duck down pretty soon. Bo Cattell not going to go this time, though, as he's getting ready to start lap number 12 now. So assuming he'll be coming in within the next lap or two and getting the SimWorks Osram machine filled back up and some fresh rubber out there to help the handling out there a little bit. I wonder how the cars feel at 12 laps in. I'm sure they're not too awfully bad, but
no, the lap times are looking fantastic, especially for Bo Cattell. They're 2:05.01.
I mean, that's almost his qualifying time. I mean, he was down in the 2:04s, but you're speaking about 12 laps into the race, and he's running 2:05, almost pretty much 2:05 flat. Very impressive right there from Bo Cattell. Back in the second position, guys, it is still William Levesque. He has not made his pit stop either. And it's going to be real fun to see where Levesque comes out after his pit stop. Remember, him and Ethan Greg Galt have had this battle going since the drop of the green flag. We'll really be able to tell who had the better pit stop on where he comes out. So as soon as Levesque heads down pit road, that'll be when we're going to watch him on exit. Boy, look at how close Levesque gets to the wall through that section. I mean, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between the wall and his car.
Yeah, a lot of drivers do make contact there as they just get a little too close, and a few times of doing that can knock your toe in or out, or of course if you hit it hard enough just one time, it can really mess up your steering. So yeah,
He's just got such an awesome line. Why? I mean, just perfect. The car looks like it is just driving perfect for him right now, and he just looks comfortable. He should be getting ready to head in pretty soon. Let's see if he decides to head down pit road. Bo Cattell is going to be making that decision here in just a moment as well. And he is not going to pit, or is he ducking down? He's going to duck down. Yeah, he's going to come in and make his pit. Let's see if William Levesque does. He will as well. So the front two guys headed down pit road in what is two of the most important pit stops yet. We'll keep you guys on the know right now as we watch these guys make their pit stops. Also headed down pit road is PJ Sturgios and Marlon McMullen. So a lot of big names in pit road right now, guys. Very important. One thing we didn't talk about is make sure at all costs you don't slip up and speed on pit road or have any type of penalty, exit wrong, and have that unsafe exit penalty. I've seen that happen to guys get a little bit too excited. But here we go. We want to see where William Levesque comes out and see if he's ahead of Ethan Griggault or if he's trailing and how much. Here comes Bo Cattell, the race leader, as he exits pit road right now. Ethan Griggault is coming around, so Ethan Griggault made up a ton of time as William Levesque going to lose a lot of time in the pits, or Ethan Griggault just had that good of a stop. Look at the battle for what will be the race lead between Bo Cattell and Ethan Griggault. Ethan's not wasting any time. He's going for the attack. It's not going to happen on the outside. He's going to have to duck back and try again, but the aggression is there, and Ethan Griggault wants the lead. They're going to go side by side in a moment.
Yeah, Bo Cattell with a 22.6 in the pits, Ethan Griggault with a 19 flat, so that made up 3 seconds, and Bo Cattell was just about the 3.5, 4 seconds ahead of him when they went into the pits. So that pit stop's definitely made up the time there for Ethan Griggault.
Wow.
William Levesque now finds himself almost 7 seconds behind those guys.
Yeah, long pit stop, and the fun thing is we still got another round of pit stops, so it can actually revert back to the way it was, or it could even increase more. That's going to be real interesting, and that's going to be coming your way in about 11 laps time, and it's just going to be so exciting to see how this thing pans out. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, you have one heck of a race for the lead right now between two incredible drivers in Bo Cattell and Ethan Griggault. You have the seasoned veteran versus the new guy in the series, and this is what it's all about, guys. The race for the lead here on lap 13 of 34. Bo Cattell able to hold his ground so good.
He was, with Ethan putting pressure all over the back of Bo. He just stayed cool, and now he's starting to pull away. Bo definitely showing his experience here at Bathurst today, as from the start of the race he managed to just keep it cool and start pulling ahead, and managed to get up to, like I said, 3.5, 4 seconds ahead of those guys. Now with such pressure from Ethan Griggault, Bo Cattell still staying cool and keeping the car out in front.
Well, as much pressure as Ethan Griggault put on as soon as he got out of the pits, he was attacking. He was not letting up. And Bo Cattell looked so good through that part. It actually makes me wonder if Ethan Griggault will just kind of decide to lay back for a minute. And, I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. He is in position where he could start to put some pressure on the leader, but I think he's going to sit back for a little bit and see what Bo Cattell's got. But you can tell he wants that lead. He wants this race win really bad. His first chance here for a championship here in the V8 Supercar America Series. And you got to think, though, Kane, all he has to do is pretty much finish this race. But he's not about that. He wants a race win. It's Bathurst. He wants the race win. And can you blame him?
At this point, to be quite honest, JD, enough people are out of the race that Ethan will score enough points to take that championship. So the race win isn't necessary here for Ethan Greg Gold, but it's and that's just Ethan for you. He races to win each and every
Well,
time
that's
he
what,
comes
yeah.
out here. I mean, that's
That,
exactly what race car drivers do, and he wants nothing less than to win here at Bathurst.
That's exactly what I was saying. Was it doesn't even, that part. He just wants the win. He just wants this Bathurst. He wants to be the Bathurst winner. It goes down to the great old, saying: would you rather be the NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, or would you rather win the Daytona 500? A lot of guys would rather win the Daytona 500. It's just the way it is. It's the crown jewel. It's what you want to win, and that's what we have right now. But Bo Cattell not making sure that that's not going to happen. He has put a little bit of space, slowly but surely, in between him and the sim pit holding of Ethan Greg Galt. That's happening right now.
Mitch McLeod all over the back of the 7 car of Jake Burton, down, getting ready to go into Hell Corner. Mick Cracknell not too far behind, and Marlon Mullen quite a ways back there in the 8th position. All the drivers have made their pit stop now, and the grid is cleared. Oh, big wreck there between Mitch McLeod and Jake Burton. Take a replay and watch that again as Jake Burton and Mitch McLeod get into it coming up the mountain. As I go through Griffin's Bend, oh, it looked like Jake caught the outside wall, sent him straight into the side of Mitch McLeod, who was there on the inside trying to get something done. Move done on Jake, and devastation for both cars. I think we've lost JD for a second. Give him some time to come back as we check on that battle for the lead. Bo Cattell up ahead, 1.3 seconds ahead of Ethan Grigg. So Bo Cattell's definitely starting to settle down and just starting to pull away from Ethan just a little bit. William Levesque, who we've seen battling with those guys all race long, is back now 8 seconds off the bumper of those guys. Pit stops really hurt William Levesque quite a bit. Back behind William, PJ Sturgis starting to reel in William, I think, a little bit. 3.7 seconds back, and then Marlon McMullen up into 5th place now as he and Marty Carroll just a little bit off of Marlon. That incident there between Mitch McLeod, Jake Burton, Mick Cracknell may have got a piece of that as well. That's moved Marlon and Marty up into 5th and 6th. Michael Healy in 7th. Leighton Fine's going to be in that 8th spot. Kane Kuyamaya in 9th. Leon Tander coming up the mountain in 10th. Todd Park makes his way by in 11th. And Victor Tanaka just coming through Griffin's Bend there in 12th.
It's been a whale of a race, buddy.
Well, some of the guys starting to come out of the pits now that took damage early on. Seeing some flashing from Marty Carroll. That's not really typical of Marty's connection. I know he's been having to run on a cell connection. At least he did a couple weeks ago, so maybe that's what the case is here today.
Hopefully it'll straighten out real soon.
Ethan Grigg still 1.3 seconds, now down to 1.2 seconds behind Bo Cattell, so he's not letting Bo get away.
All right, guys, you know, it's been a really impressive race thus far. And as we're here at lap 17, we'll do a real quick rundown of where kind of the field's at and how we're looking this far in the race. Bo Cattell still in the lead right now, and he is representing the Osram Simworks machine very well thus far. Behind him in second place, it is the number 2 Sim Pit machine of Ethan Grigg-Gault. William Levesque in third at the moment. PJ Sturgios back there in fourth, coming up in the TTL car. Behind him, it's Marlon McMullen, who has moved up to 5th place. Good job from the Wilson Security Falcon. In 6th place, it's Marty Carroll, and hopefully he gets those issues ironed out with the connection. Looks to be a lot better. And Michael Healy coming up in the TTR Hybrid Racing Simulations Holden in 7th. 8th place belongs to Leighton Fine in the Mad Cow Racing Machine. Kane Kujamaya in the GTI Holden. In 10th, it is Leon Tander. Outside of the top 10, it's Todd Parks, Victor Tanaka, Jeremiah Morton, Michael Cracknell, and Jake Burton, of course, in the pits after his incident. And Michael Cracknell, Mitch McLeod, a part of that as well, with Dale Nish, Jason Quire. Now, Jason Quire has rejoined the track, guys. He is 3 laps down, but is back racing, and that's good news for him. Jason Dixon still in the pits, and Corey Preston has rejoined the track as well. Good to see Corey not giving up on the day, Kane. He took time, he got the car fixed, and he came to race. He just wants to get out there and have a good time.
You know, one thing about it, these races here are part of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Series, and there is another strength of field race here on Monday. It's in the Australian time zone. We don't broadcast it here, but it is broadcast over at Race Spot. So by coming out here, putting some more laps in, it's going to give Corey Preston some more practice, and practice in race trim is very important. So if these guys find themselves out of the with some early race damage early on, it's definitely going to pay dividends to get those repairs done, come back out and get some lap time out there in race trim.
Very well said, my friend. Tell you what. Yeah, he's still in the spotlight here. Still well within where he wants to be at this point in the race, and he is slowly but surely inching closer to our leader. Boy, hated to see that with Jake Burton. Things kind of starting to spread out around the track. And it's
the pit stops really seem to kind of split things up, aside from Ethan Grigg-Gault, who it really caught up to Bo Cattell, who that battle was really spreading apart before the pit stops. Pit stops helped that battle out a little bit, but seems to have spread out the rest of the field. That and a couple of incidents. We knew coming in here tonight that there would be some pretty awesome wrecks, and it hasn't disappointed.
No, it's been something we thought would happen, and here, lo and behold, it's happened. It's also one thing we mentioned in the pre-race show where we talked about how important qualifying was going to be because of that. You get caught in the mid-pack here, and things happen in a hurry, and sometimes it's not your fault. You're just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's so unfortunate when that happens, but it is a part of racing. It happens to great drivers all the time. And it's just one of those things you hate to see, but it is part of racing, unfortunately. Right now, the only thing that's really a big show on the track is Ethan Greg Galt trying to run down our leader, Bo Cattell. And Kane, we've seen Bo win here in the past, and he is just, this track and him just go together so well. He is so good here.
Yeah, Bo Cattell, he's like a robot here. He's got this track really figured out, and he does such a great job. This race has to be run so perfectly. I mean, you really have to race the track first, race the drivers around you second, and Bo has got it figured out. But you can't say anything bad about Ethan. He's definitely doing a fantastic job for someone who's raced this track only a handful of times. As Ethan's really only been racing full time in the service for the last couple seasons.
Well, one thing that's going to be so huge in this race and the outcome is going to be in about a handful of laps time when these guys go down for their second pit stop of the day. It's really going to answer a lot of questions on how we're going to come out of that, because it really could shake things up. If Ethan Greg Galt goes in and has another stop like the first one, it could put him in the lead. And I don't know if he's going to be, you know how hard it is for people to catch him once he's out in the front. When Ethan Greg Galt gets in the lead, it's like he just turns a switch on, and there's no looking back.
My guess is that since that first pit stop was short, that the next pit stop's going to be a little bit longer, and so we're going to see that gap increase probably a little bit between Bo Cattell and Ethan Greg. So,
well, you would think that, but these guys, I'm sure, have been in practice all week preparing for this race. They've probably been running some trials to try to figure out the best scenario. And I'm thinking that whenever they are able to pit, they're going to try to run this thing out as long as they can. And when they're, if they're doing what I think they're going to do, Ethan will come in and he's going to just do the bare minimum to get him to the end of the race. And if that gets him, maybe it won't be as long as I think it's going to be. But if he's able to have two short stops, that would be incredible. I don't know how he'd be able to do it, but if he could, look out, man. Because all you have to do is get to lap 34, and sometimes these guys are just so good at fuel saving. But you know what, Kane? The thing is you can't fuel save when you're in a race like we're seeing right now between Bo Cattell and Ethan Greg Galt. I mean, where do you fuel save when you're trying to run down the leader?
I tell you, some of these guys can fuel save compared to the others just by their racing technique. I know the right foot breakers really save quite a bit of fuel compared to the guys who use 2 feet. So, they can usually get by taking a lot less fuel. Ethan Greg Galt into the pits now.
Okay, well, there just went my plan to the wind, because I was not expecting Greg Galt to come down this early. So that answered the question right there. He's going to have to take a little bit longer of a pit stop to make it to the end of the race now. A little bit different strategy than what I was thinking. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, Kane. He is in the pit stall now. And he has a good pit stall because he qualified second there. He gets one right at the front behind pit stall 1. And the clock is rolling. And as soon as he pops out, we'll let you guys know.
And then that brings to question Levesque, who took such a longer time in the pits, and that took him about 7 seconds off the rest of the field. Now it's up to 11 seconds. Did he take the extra time to get some extra fuel in the car, and then will his next pit stop be able to be a lot shorter and catch him back up to the other guys? That's going to be an interesting to see how these guys' tactics come together at the end of the race.
It is, and that's what these races are all about. When we get a race like this, that's what I love about it, is the strategy. How does it play out? There's so much more than just getting out there and running a fast laps. And what was the official time there on the number 2 car's pit stop there, King? Okay, so that was a longer pit stop, but obviously he does not have to stop anymore. And so any chance of him fumbling in the pits is already gone, and now he just can focus on the race at hand. Now, will this strategy hurt him? Obviously, he knows what he's doing, but I was not expecting him to duck in quite that fast. I guess that answered the short pit stop there.
Yeah, it really did. Looking at Bo Catel's car, he's got a lot of front end damage. You know, these guys get so close to that wall as they come through those turns, especially coming down the mountain. A couple of those turns, they get so close to that wall that the simulator reads it as contact. And even though the car doesn't take damage, sometimes the visual model of the car can show some damage. And I think that's what we're seeing here with Bo Catel's.
Well, we started to have another great battle between Michael Healy and Marty Carroll. Marty decides it's time for him to duck down into the pit. So another SDC car going to take a pit here. And we may see a little bit of a string of events here from the SDC team doing some stops here around lap 20 and 22.
Some more bad news for Ethan Grigg as he comes out in some pretty heavy traffic, kind of stuck behind Leighton Fine a little bit, and I think he'll be able to clear that, get around Ethan get around Leighton rather pretty quickly. But yeah, not a great exit position for Ethan.
Marty Carroll is away now, and we'll see where he joins in the traffic. It looks like he'll have a nice open area to get into, unlike his teammate Ethan Grigg-Galt. So that's good news for Marty Carroll, who is in a really good battle, or it was about to be a great battle between him and Michael Healy. Marty Carroll went in the pits in 5th place, and it was good to see him up in the top 5. We'll see what the number 11 Sim Pit Falcon can do now that he's got everything freshened up from the pits. We'll see what kind of lap times he puts down as well as his teammate.
I want to mention Victor Tanaka up in 12th place so far. Having a great race. Car looks good. As soon as I mention it, it gets sideways and into the wall there. Griffin's Bend. Horrible luck for Victor Tanaka. He's got a couple cars coming by. Now he's going to try to stay out of the way, I hope, but the Simpit car there, Jason Quire, gets around.
Well, Ethan Grigg-Galt in a little bit of a pickle. He needs to get around Leighton Fine and quickly. He's coming down Conrad Straight right now and still can't get around Leighton Fine, and it slowed him up a little bit through. Now he'll finally make the move. And woof, just in the nick of time, the number 2 car gets around the Mad Cow Racing Holden. And so Ethan Grigg-Galt now on a roll here. He's got to get his lap times up and get back up there if he wants to try to win this thing. Leighton Fine now going to duck down into the pits as well. And it looks like that second pit window is officially wide open as we see the majority of the field starting to think about turning down pit road for that final stop.
Yeah, Marlon Mullen also in on his second stop.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where he folds out of this stop, and we'll check in on the numbers 2 on the second stop from McMullen team. He is away.
19.9 on the second stop from McMullen.
Oh, nice stop there from the number 1 Wilson Security Falcon, and he rejoins in a decent spot on the track. When he went into the pits, he was listed in the 4th position. So it'd be interesting once the pits cycle through where he sits and what kind of stuff he can pull. Marlon did not have a great qualifying effort today. He qualified all the way back in the 9th position, which is fairly low for Marlon McMullen. And but ever since then, he's done a really good job of doing everything he can to stay in this race and slowly but surely move his way towards the front. And I'm really curious to see how he's going to do from this point out. A great second pit stop. He's back out now, doesn't have trouble from lap traffic or anything. If he can get his pace up, it's going to be real fun to see where he ends up once these things cycle out.
I would say it should be getting close to time for William Levesque to come in for a pit stop.
Our leader is headed down pit road. Bo Cattell now headed down into that front box. And this is the pit stop we really wanted to see. So here it is. Let's see what the leader does in pit stall number 1. Will it be a shorter stop for Bo Cattell in the SimWorks Osram Holden? The clock is rolling, and we're going to find out in just a second how that leader does.
You know, I just said that about William Levesque and that he may be coming down soon. I had forgot that he had taken so much more on that last pit stop, so we'll probably see him run a couple of extra laps here.
There he goes. Bo Cattell is away. Very good point with William Levesque. You'd think he'd wait till later to make the stop so he doesn't have to have quite as long of a stop. The only issue is the longer you stay out, the slower your laps are, and that can affect you over the long run. So as long as his lap times aren't suffering, I say stay out as long as you possibly can so that you can have a shorter stop. And that'll be fun to watch. We have some more in the pit stall as Leon Tander stops in the pit stop box 12. Also, his teammate Todd Parks ducking in down as well to get his stop done. And most of the field starting to get done with the pits. Jason Dixon is heading down pit road as well. We do have a little battle here on the track. It is the battle for 13th. Jeremiah Morton battling right now with Jason Quire. And a good battle at that. A good job from Jeremiah Morton trying to get a little bit of distance put in between the two as Jason Quire was putting on loads of pressure. This battle came out of nowhere. Boy, I tell you what, Kane, you mentioned a little bit of a preview for next season's SimPit and SDC skins. They look remarkable. Here comes a SimPit car down on the inside. He's going to try to make the move. Jason Quire going to come and make the pass right before Murray's corner. And he moves up into the 13th spot. A great job from Jason Quire in the SimPit Holden. I told you he'd get some pace a little later in the race. I'm trying.
Both those drivers down a few laps, still racing their heart out. And that's one thing about this series. These guys definitely show up with a lot of heart each and every week. Both drivers
they sure
had a little
do.
bit of incidents early on, and both of them back out racing just as hard as if it was lap 1.
Kane Kujamaya heads down pit road. The GTI Holden is ready to go get some new tires and topped off with fuel to get the bad boy to the end of the race.
And I want to mention third place William Levesque in the pits as well. He's on his way out, and his stop 21.4 seconds. So
another long stop. What about PJ Sturgis as he makes his way out of the pits as well? He was second place going into the pits, but that
20.1 on his stop.
Okay, so a decent
that seems to
stop
be about
there.
Average, right about that 20-second mark is where these guys are falling in their second stop.
I would consider a great stop, 19 or better, and so yeah, a decent stop for Sturgis, and we'll see where he ends up going. They should be done cycling out here in a moment.
Let's go up to the front now that at least the top 3 have finished their second stop. Bo Cattell, of course, still out in the lead. Ethan Grigalt now 5.6 seconds back. So after the second pit stop has concluded, probably an extra 2 seconds lost from whenever that very first pit stop started there for Ethan Grigg. But still a great showing from Ethan Grigalt. A little bit of time lost in the pits, but fantastic drive so far. William Levesque has lost just a little bit more time in his second pit stop. That's put him about 8.5 seconds down from Ethan Grigalt. And then PJ Sturgis is still got a chance for the podium here. He's only about 4 seconds off of William Levesque in third. And with 10 laps to go, there's still time to gain that 4 seconds up, especially here at the mountain.
Well, that's the whole point is with these pit stops, and you may say, well, this is the hand I was dealt with the pits, but you still have 9 laps, let's say 9 solid laps remaining to get this done. So hopefully the pits, you went into the pits and got the car adjusted. That was the final opportunity to make any small adjustments coming through the pits, so hopefully you did that, and the car is feeling good for you, because now is when you got to shine. You've got to earn all the spots now. And it's going to be fun to see. Will Bo-Catel remain and win this race, or will we see Ethan Grigalt come up from second place and pull this thing off, or even something crazier like William Levesque coming from 2 slow pit stops to get the job done? Anything is possible in this one here on lap 26 of 34. We want to thank you guys very much that have been with us the whole race thus far. We thank you so much, and we hope you guys stay with us till the end and crown our winner here in our season finale. Also, we'll be able to crown our season champ, which is going to be Ethan Grigalt, as Kane mentioned earlier, and going to be fun here, right here on V8's online here at the V8 Supercar America's season finale in season 3.
Tell you what, JD, since things have kind of slowed down and got some gap here in between most of the cars, there is a battle for 7th and 8th between Leighton Fine and Kane Kugamaya. But while we're watching this battle, let's bring in Jake Burton and discuss his race here, as he's 9 lap down in a busted up car. We've seen him and Mitch McLeod in a little incident coming up the mountain.
Yeah, hi Kane. It was a bit of a unfortunate turn of events with Mitch. Just I had a bit of a rough first stint, and then the second stint was going really well. I went for a bit of a different strategy, and it put me out in front of Mitch and a couple of the other guys. And I actually had the speed for PJ, but I was just fuel saving. I needed to save about half a lap's of fuel by the end of the stint, and then I could go. And that was actually my last lap I would have had to save, and then I could have gone. And unfortunately, just coming through Griffin's Bend, got out on that curb and just smacked that wall and taken Mitch and Mick Cracknell with me, which is really apologetic to those guys. But yeah, that's just what happens with a bit of lack of practice, I suppose.
Yeah, you were looking great out there, though. He was in good position, running a great race. But you know, this is the mountain that is. This track is so tough, and even the very best get caught up at times. As we've seen in one of the races, you know, Shane Van Gisbergen get taken out that same exact way. So you know, even the best find themselves in a rotten position every once in a while. So definitely gives you a chance to regroup, come back Monday for the Monday night show, and maybe put on a better race Monday.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this track, you got concrete walls a metre off to the side of the track sometimes, and just you got to focus so hard with every single corner you take, and I just lost my focus for a tenth of a second, and you can see the result. So it's a real shame, but yeah, as you say, even the best can make mistakes here, and not that I'm certainly not one of the best, but yeah, just I feel really bad for Mitch and Crackers who got caught up in it as well. But I'm really happy with this week. We had a lot of speed considering I only had 15 laps of practice, and yeah, so a big thanks to all the guys who worked on my setup this week.
Well, thanks for coming and talking with us, Jake. Again, sorry to see the incident there, but thanks for coming, having a word with us. I'm sure the guys know that this is Bathurst, and you know, it could be them any other time coming up the mountain and go just a little wide. Those who don't cause it this week could cause it next week. It's just, you know, that's racing. Sometimes you have a great race, and sometimes you mess up.
Yeah, that's it. Well, as you guys say, this is the finale for this season, and I normally said I wouldn't do much official. I just do the tracks I like. But now we got some dynamic surface coming. I'll definitely make sure to join you guys next season. And congratulations again on putting on a really good broadcast again this season, and making the America Series really one to watch. So thanks a lot to you guys.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Well, as we spoke to Jake there, I really appreciate those comments. That really means a lot coming from those guys. His teammate Kurt made a similar comment in the video thread, so appreciate those guys and their appreciation of what we do here. Kane Kugamaya has finally got around Leighton Fine and up into that 7th position. So great job by Kane Kugamaya. Took a few laps to get it done, but persistence paid off for Kane as he does end up in that 7th position.
Yeah, good job right there from Kane Kujimaya and the GTI machine. Will he be able to maintain that, though, is the question, as Leighton Fine is still in the ballpark. He's going to have to turn on the heat if he wants to get his position back, and it looks like he'll do so. A mistake from Kane Kujimaya that'll cost him. I'm going to go back and take another look at that real quick to find out exactly what happened to the number 8 machine as he was coming around the turn. Went in a little bit too heavy. Kane went a little bit too much in, and that is just too much. That's pretty much it. He went in too hot, and that caused him to go into the corner way too deep. He had to get on the brakes, and that allowed an easy pass from Leighton Fine in the Mad Cow machine. Good pass. Or a good job taking advantage of the situation. Let's see now if Kane Kujimaya can get back on the ball and get back up there and do this again.
I think there's a very good chance of it, but I want to take our attention back up to the 3rd position as William Levesque has managed to knock out that 4 seconds he had in between him and Ethan Grigg, and has made it right onto the bumper with 6 laps to go. The battle is heating up here for the 2nd place.
You know, Kane, these front 3 cars, if you go back before the pit stops, this is exactly how they were riding. You had Bo Cattell up about 8 car lengths, or not even that, well, about 8-9 car lengths up in front of Ethan Grigg Galt, and right behind Ethan was William Levesque. After literally 29 laps and 2 pit stops, they are right back where we were, and we have a great setup here for the finish of our final race of the season. Right now, guys, on lap number 29 of 34, Bo Cattell leads the way, but here comes Ethan Grigg Galt and William Levesque as they battle for different steps on the podium at the end of the race. Don't go anywhere. This thing is about to heat up real soon, as here comes Levesque. Just now making their way down the mountain, and William Levesque all over the backside of Ethan Grigg Galt's number 2 machine. In fact, right now, Ethan Grigg Galt has to stay extra focused on every little thing he's doing in the number 2 sim pit. A little bit of a loose car, that's going to cause some trouble, and that is going to allow William Levesque to make an easy pass. And there's trouble for what's going on? That's the lap traffic. I'm freaking out. I thought that was Bo Cattell up there. Wow, but William Levesque gets around Ethan Grigg Galt, and that is very troublesome for Ethan. He's going to have to get back on it and try to make things happen. I have a feeling it's going to be really difficult to get back around William Levesque.
You know, I think Ethan may have kind of toned it down a little bit. I think he's thinking he wants to get through this race clean and make sure that he has a good finish, as he knows he's not going to win the race. Bo Cattell way far up ahead now at this point, and 16 seconds ahead up there, and so I think Ethan's just now focused on the championship. He just knows he needs to bring the car home clean, and I think that's why we've seen him maybe cut it back. I'll bet he's also saving fuel. I'll bet maybe pitted a little bit early, and he's going to have to save a little bit of fuel to bring it home.
Something definitely happened as he was coming around Forest Elbow, Kane. He went in, the car got loose for sure, but instead of getting back on it and hammering it, he laid off and filed in behind William Levesque. And so it could be definitely part of the fuel saving. It could be a part of the championship, the fact that he needs to just hang in there. But definitely the aggression has tapered off compared to what we saw.
He is seriously fuel saving. On board with Ethan Grigg Galt now as he's coming down the mountain. Clutches it, kills the engine all the way down it, and then lets off the clutch. Engine fires back up. So he is aggressively fuel saving, trying to make it home.
He must have realized that miscalculated something, and he is in desperation to make sure he makes the finish line here in this one. Don't turn the channel or change this broadcast, guys. You're going to make sure that Mr. Grigg Galt makes it to the finish line here. And he has some company coming up, Kane. That is going to be the number 4 of PJ Sturgios, who's coming up. And at the way he's fuel saving at that rate, it should be a really easy pass for the number 4 car. And it's going to be fun to watch. In front of PJ Sturgios is some lap traffic. That is Victor Tanaka in the sim-ability holding. And Victor Tanaka being very, very good sport there and letting these guys by, no problem. And this is going to be fun. Here comes PJ Sturgios to try to make it around Ethan Grigg-Galt. What will we see here? And it's going to be an easy pass. I don't know. Ethan is hammering it down the front stretch, but he will let the PJ Sturgios by the Pagnian. Falcon gets around the Holden of Ethan Grigg-Galt. So Ethan has fallen back to 4th place, guys. He is no longer on that podium step, but he is in line right now to win the championship here in Season 3. So he's got his eyes on the big prize. Kane, I'm really concerned he may not make it to the end at the way he is saving.
Yeah, I'm concerned too. He is saving aggressively than I've ever seen anyone have to save to make it to the end. So it's going to be interesting to see if he makes it to the end. I think he's okay with as many people that hasn't made it to the end, but it's pretty close. If you don't make it to the end and everyone gets around, that's dangerous for the championship.
The smartest thing at this point, Kane, if he is that worried about not making it to the end, it would be more beneficial for him right now to duck down in pit road, pop off a little bit of gas, get back out on the track and finish this race. At worst, he'll finish around 12th, 13th maybe, and he'll still rack up the championship, no problem. I think he's better off doing that than saving that aggressively, because he is losing so much time saving that way. I think it would be better for him and smarter if he would just head down pit road, top it off with a little fuel, and then race as normal. And
if he does make it to the end, other than the risk factor on not making it to the end, I think that staying out would be okay. He's still aggressively saving this much. He's still turning 210. So that's still faster than so many. I mean, I can't turn a 210, which is sad because he's driving with the clutch in half the lap, and he's still turning a faster lap than what I can turn on my very, very best day.
He does. Marlon McMullen is now right up there with him, and Marlon, of course, the current champion for this final race, and he's right there with him. And he'll be coming up and ready to get around Ethan Grigg-Galt. There he goes right now. I mean, he's already fallen back to 5th place, Kane. Had he stopped in the pits, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I just say, why risk it? Just go down into the pits and top it off, and don't risk it.
These pit stops at the road courses, though, they take, especially that final pit, or that pit stop where no one else has to pit again from this point on, it would cost, I'll bet it would cost nearly a minute.
Even at a minute, though, he would still finish at worst in 11th place. So rather than him getting a DNF, if he can't get that thing to pit road, let's say it dies and he has to do a quick tow or something at the end of the race, that is a DNF, and that is a lot worse than if he just pits and comes back out and finishes in 11th, because Jeremiah Morton is in 11th right now. He is 3 laps down.
And there's 3 laps to go, so what that tells me is the very worst that Ethan could finish would be 11th. So I think Ethan's right on track. If he pits, he finishes 11th. If he don't pit, he finishes, if he runs out of gas, he finishes 11th. So I think that's why we're seeing Ethan still out turning laps, saving the fuel.
Yeah, I think either way he is he's okay. I mean, he has put down a performance this season that deserves him to be able to do this. What he has done has been truly remarkable. A really dominant performance through this season, and it's going to be so exciting taking his performance this season and putting it in is definitely raising the bar in season 4. And I'm excited. Whoa! A scary moment there from Jeremiah Morton coming out of Hell Corner, and he had a hell of a ride there. Car got loose, no problem though. But back to what I was saying, you got Ethan Grigald here, who has just been so dominant this season. And then you got another guy in Marlon McMullen who's going to want to get back on top of things. So he's going to be coming out guns blazing in season 4. Then you got some other names that have been remarkable this year. Ian Ford, he's going to come out swinging for the fences. Some other guys, we always have one new guy always step up that maybe wasn't a huge name. They always step up and become a big-time player. I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody, even a Marty Carroll, or maybe even a, let's just throw another one in the mix. Jake Burton could definitely do it if he wanted to. Even a Corey Preston that could get up there and fight for a championship. I mean, it's wide open. You never know who's going to...
One thing Jake mentioned that really is going to be a game changer next season is the dynamic track services. That could bring anyone up there, that any one of these drivers that could figure that dynamic track service out quicker than the other drivers. Definitely, it can, like you said, it can open up the door for a Corey Preston. Mitchell McLeod, I would love to see come in and have a great season next season. Todd Parks, Leon Tanders, some of these guys definitely deserve to have a great season like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the white flag is out here at Bathurst, and Bo Cattell, your race leader, is making his way up the mountain for the final time today. The number 5 Simworks Oshram Holden is booking it right now, and he deserves some camera time and some camera shine. It has been Bo Cattell's day to topple the mountain, and he has done such an amazing job thus far as he gets ready to come over and work his way down on the latter half of our final lap here. Let's just let him enjoy this. He deserves it. It has been a remarkable race from Bo Cattell, all the way from the very beginning, with him making a very dramatic jump to the top of the leaderboard in qualifying, all the way to his race here today. 34 beautiful laps from the Simworks Oshram Holden, and down through Forest Elbow for the final time today. Comes inches from the wall like it's nothing, and now he'll shoot down Conrad Straight, and he is smiling, buddy, because he has dominated this race today against twice in a row against some of the best in the sim racing world in the V8 supercars, and he deserves it. So here it is, guys, coming around Murray's Corner in just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Simworks Oshram Holden, the number 5 car of Bo Cattell will take Bathurst to close out the 2015 Season 3 season. Congratulations, Bo Cattell.
Fantastic job, Bo Cattell, coming in here, taking the season number 2, now coming in, taking season number 3. Bo Cattell has got this track figured out.
William Levesque is now coming around Murray's Corner. He will take second place, and a great run from William Levesque. And lo and behold, PJ Sturgios rounding the final turn now as the number 4 TTL car will take the final step on the podium. And that is a great finish from PJ Sturgios. Here comes Marlon McMullen in the Wilson Security Falcon. He'll take 4th place in this one. And the 5th car to cross the finish line, Kane, who will that even be? We'll have to look on the board. It's going to be Ethan Grigalt, maybe? I don't know.
Michael Healy.
Michael Healy, that is the next car. You're right, in the hybrid racing simulations, Holden. And, of course, Ethan Grigalt, I guess the fuel saving did pay out over the pit stop as he comes across, ladies and gentlemen, in 6th place. And he will, with that finish, officially become the 2015 Season 3 champ, and that is his first championship here in the V8 Supercar Americas, guys, and well-deserved is it for Ethan Grigalt, and one of the most dominating season performances in history, and that is something that all drivers have something.
sorry to interrupt you there. I'm not
Yeah,
sure it's
that
going to
is
have enough
something that
to do some donuts or anything.
even if not, that's he just like I was fixing to say, man. His performance this year has raised the bar for everybody. Everybody. He deserves this moment. He has raised the bar for all drivers next season, and for a lot of the drivers that are kind of haven't looked at the Americas in a while. Look at this guy. You need to come try to knock this king off the mountain. This guy right here is really a well-deserved champ in the Americas, and it's going to be so fun to watch everybody try to win next season. It's going to be an incredible race for the title as we have season 4 coming up, like you mentioned and Jake mentioned. With the dynamic track surfaces, it could change the game for Ethan. It could change the game for everybody. In fact, it will change the game, and it is going to be an incredible change to the sim. And I think we're going to have another one of those seasons came where we're going to go into the final race next season, and we're not going to know who the champ is going to be. We're going to have about 4 different guys that it could be, and it is going to be so fun. We look forward to it. Let's go ahead and run through the final rundown one more time, Kane, before we get ready to head over to the post-race show and have a word from our champion and race winner and more. All right, guys, this is how we ended up in the final race of the season. Bo Cattell does it again. He takes Bathurst 2 seasons in a row, and well-deserved job from the Osram Holden. And just another performance for him. He makes this place look too easy. In second place tonight, guys, coming across in that second spot, it is William Levesque in the number 3. Holden, what a performance from him. He came in here and really made a name for himself in this series. And I think he should come back next season as a full-timer. Maybe we can talk him into it if we can have a word with him in the post-race show. The final step on the podium goes to a driver who has done so well on both sides of the auto or sim, in the oval side, of course, and in the road side. PJ Sturgios in the Pagny and TTL machine. He finishes 3rd. 4th goes to Marlon McMullen in the number 1 Wilson Security Falcon. A great day for Marlon. Michael Healy in the hybrid racing simulations. Holden comes across in 5th. Ethan Grigg Galt finishes 6th and takes the crown for the season. Leighton Fine comes across 7th in the number 12 Mad Cow Racing. Holden, beautiful day for Leighton Fine. Kane Kujamaya in the GTI. Holden comes across in 8th. Leon Tander in the light up. Holden comes across in 9th. Todd Parks in the same comes across in 18th in the number 18 car and rounds out the top 10. All those guys finished on the lead lap. In 11th, it is Jeremiah Morton, who started 20th and worked his way up to 11th. He finished 3 laps down. Jason Quire finished 12th. Victor Tanaka finished 13th today. Marty Carroll finished 14th. Jason Dixon in 15th. 16th went to Michael Cracknell. Jake Burton 17th, Mitch McLeod 18th, Dale Niche 19th, and of course Corey Preston finished in the 20th spot after his day ended really early and unfortunately. Kane, it was an amazing broadcast tonight, buddy. I enjoyed it to death. Let's get ready to have a word with some of our great friends that race in this series. It has been an amazing season, buddy.
That it has. It's been a great season. Watching Ethan Grigg Galt come in here and have such a great series was phenomenal. You know, each season in the past has had different things that was kind of stand out. This season, definitely the Ethan Grigg Galt story, where he's come in, won so many of the races, and has just done such a fantastic job. Last season, just the entire season was epic. I mean, we had some of the greatest battles last season, and so each season definitely has its own little storylines. This storyline will be the Ethan Grigg Galt story, and next season, I am so anxious to see what next season brings, as the dynamic tracks will bring some more drivers to the series, and maybe we'll see some of the guys that haven't come and driven in the regular series for a while come drive in the VSU Cars America series. Maybe we'll see some guys from the Cadillac come up and try it, or from the Mustang. come up and try racing in the V8 Supercars America Series, that would be fantastic. So Season 4 is definitely, I'm looking forward to it so much.
I am too, and it is just going to be so fun. Well, it's that time, guys. Let's go ahead and bring him in, the champion here in the 2015 Season 3 season, Ethan Griggault. Ethan, congratulations on taking the title, and you had a remarkable season. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good considering what just happened then. So, yeah, to take the championship, but on such a last race, kind of a bit of a disappointment, but all good, yeah.
Yeah, before we talk about the season as a whole, let's talk about the race real quick. Tell me a little bit about tonight's race. Obviously, the end not working out the way that you quite had planned, but tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, but Bo has amazing pace here, so I just had nothing for him in the first stint, and I managed to do the short stop in the second while I was getting really good pressure from William, which I was quite a surprise. Congrats to him, he's got amazing pace. But yeah, I managed to find something in the second stint and make up my lost time, which I had on Bo every lap, and yeah, I was getting really confident coming for my last pit stop. About 3 or 4 laps into the stint, noticed I was about 10 litres down. So pretty much from there on, it was just save to get past the finish line, and managed to roll past the line out of fuel. So
We noticed that the fuel was a big issue at the end, obviously, and one of the things I kind of had a debate or talked about was if because I was really concerned that you weren't going to make it to the end. Obviously, we thought you took an earlier pit stop than we thought maybe you would for that second stop, but I still was like, well, he knows what he's doing. He'll make it to the end. But then when we saw you aggressively saving, we said, oh no, he really might not make it to the end. Did the thought cross your mind to maybe just go ahead and stop in for a third stop and top it off with gas and then not worry about it? Because the time that you lost to saving that aggressively, would it have equaled up to a stop, or did it ever cross your mind, or what was going on there?
well, yeah, I thought I could just do ordinary saving, like about just a normal 50, 100 meters before the braking zone, but after I lost out the third and fourth was closing up behind me, I'm just thinking I probably would have kept more time had I stopped. By the time then it was too late, so I just had to keep aggressively saving, and as the race went on, it got worse and worse and worse, and I had to clutch in through half of the straights just to keep the revs down, and just stuff like that.
And see, that's funny because that's the problem is once you figure that out, it's too late. You've already saved the lap times, and so then you really can't stop because you've already done that. But you know what? You're allowed to have a week like you did this week. You had amazing pace in the race. And let's just talk about this season as a whole, because that's what we're celebrating tonight, is the effort put out from you this entire season. And like I was saying just a moment ago before you came in, you have really set the bar for next season, and it's going to be fun watching you try to defend this championship and watching everybody else. Just the fact that you did such a great job, I have a feeling we'll see some big names pop over here in the America Series to try to knock you off the throne.
Yeah. I'm trying to go full steam ahead on next season, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stay in contention since I've got I'm actually going up to real Bathurst this year, so that might take out a few drop rounds of mine. But yeah, I'll try and make an effort to make it every Saturday morning for the race. So awesome series we've got running here, great rivalries in it, and awesome broadcast guys.
Ethan, we sure do appreciate it, and I tell you what, man, you did a really wonderful job this season. Look forward to seeing you next season, and keep up the good work, man. Congratulations on your first America's Championship.
Yeah, thanks, JD and K.
You're very welcome, and I will get that trophy in the mail first thing in the morning.
I remember the end of last season, which I missed out on the championship because I I tried to set up my triple screens and couldn't make it for the Oran Park race. But when I see Marlon got that trophy, he posted a picture up on Facebook. I'm like, I want that next season. So I'm glad I've done a good enough job for it now. So yeah.
And
that's
there you
awesome.
go. Now you'll have one yourself, and I'm not gonna lie, Marlon's gonna want to take it away from you, man. He's gonna want to get one next season. That's one thing we know about Marlon. He is competitive, and he'll want it back. So it's gonna be fun to watch, man. We look forward to that. And thanks so much, Ethan, for joining us post race and throughout the season, man. It's been real fun watching you this year, and like I said, congratulations, and we wish you the best in the future.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was an awesome season.
All right, that is Ethan Grigg-Gault, ladies and gentlemen, your champion here in the 2015 Season 3 go-around. Let's have a talk next with tonight's race winner, and what a performance from your race winner, Bo Cattell. Bo, welcome to the post-race show. How are you feeling tonight after that run?
Yeah, pretty pumped. It's always good to have a win. Seems like I can only do it here though, but I'll take that.
Well, let me tell you this, if there's one track that I could only win at one track and there was only one that I could pick, it would definitely be this one. This is the track that everybody wants to win at, and you have found a way to do that twice in a row here in the Americas Series. Congratulations. That is an extremely tough task. You gave us an exciting race, especially right at the end of qualifying. Ethan Grigg-Gault, I thought he had it all wrapped up with the pole. And lo and behold, right before the ticker runs out, here comes Bo Cattell to jump on top of the pole. Incredible run there.
Thanks. I was I was a bit worried about qualifying because I got a 0 times contact with the wall on my 2 first hot laps, so I was under some serious pressure to nail the third one and managed to do it. Not too bad. But yeah, look, the race went really well. Car was awesome. And yeah, just loved the track and didn't mind the 2 pit stops for something different either. But I had the calculator sitting on my lap for the second stint, so that was not a lot of fun. But yeah,
It's funny. If you go back and watch the broadcast, you'll hear me and Kane talking about the end of qualifying. We had almost everybody had times posted, and Bo Cattell, no time posted next to your name. We were wondering if you were going to get a time posted or if you'd be starting in the back of the pack. And I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. And then when you did post a time, it went straight to the top. So it was very entertaining. And then the race was very entertaining as well. Even though you led pretty much the entire race other than when stopping for pits, it still was an exciting run tonight, and over the course of 34 laps and 2 pit stops, just a great performance. Did the strategy vary as far as the pit stops go with what you had planned on versus what you actually did, or was it pretty much textbook from start to finish for you?
well, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I knew you pretty much needed 2 full tanks, or slightly less in the second stop, but it really, I really had no idea how much I needed in the second stop until I was sort of working it out on the run. But once I built that 4 or so second gap at the start, I thought, oh well, I may as well take a full tank at the first stop. And I was assuming that Ethan was going to short fill it to try and close the gap, which he did. And then I sort of knew if I could stay in front of him, I should be right, because I should have the shorter stop at the second time. But yeah, I just heard Ethan might have short filled it again, which is unlucky. But no, it was good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask if after that set of pit stops, that first set of pit stops, whenever he came out right on your bumper, if that had you a little concerned that maybe strategy wasn't going to work out, or if at that point you were thinking, well, he's short fueled, so I'll still be good. But I guess you kind of just answered that for us.
Yeah, it was sort of if he had come out in front of me, I suppose I wouldn't have been too fussed at that stage, knowing that it was highly likely he had a longer stop second. But yeah, no, I certainly had the pace on him in the first stint, but he definitely found some time in the second stint. It's just a pity he ran out of fuel, because I reckon it would have been a good battle.
That it would have. And, It's always a pleasure to see you pop in whenever you can make it by for the Americas races, Bo, and especially when you come by and take the race like that, man. That was really fun. Glad you made it by, and hope we get to see you a lot more in season 4.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to do the whole thing. I say that every time, but I am actually hoping to do the whole thing next time. So we'll have a few different changes to the car, which will be interesting. But I appreciate what you guys do, and thanks to my team and also ANZ for all their help in the alliance. So it's been really good.
It really has, man. And I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and say that you will be here full time next season. And it's going to be fun watching you try to knock Ethan Greg Galt off of the throne, man.
Yeah, well, I voted for Bathurst to be all 12 rounds of next season, but
Oh, okay.
didn't want to do it. So I don't know if Ethan will be in trouble or not next season. He might take another one.
It's going to be fun to see, that's for sure, man. Thank you so much, Bo, for coming and having a chat with us. As always, buddy, you're always welcome here. And congratulations on winning Bathurst twice in a row here in the Americas. That is really, really impressive.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring in our next driver, and hopefully he'll be able to hear me. Let's see if we can have a word with Will Levesque. Will, welcome to the post-race show. How are you?
Good.
Man, glad to have you here, Will. Let's talk real quick. In the pre-race comments on the broadcast, it was funny. Kane mentioned people were giving you advice, huh?
Well, I had PJ giving me a setup first and foremost, because I was interested in doing this race tonight, because usually I do GT3, but since my car was quite bad there, I didn't really want to race, so ended up racing with PJ tonight, and yeah, it went a lot better than I expected, to be honest.
I think it went better than everyone expected. That was such an impressive run. You had loads of speed. The pace was remarkable, and you held it through the entire race. That was a very, very impressive run to come across second like that. That is just so impressive. We need to see more of Will Levesque. We want you to run more in our series.
I don't know. I mean, I'll try and do a few more runs. I don't know how it's gonna happen because I'm going for the Pro Series in GT3 Endurance that new series iRacing is doing.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
gonna
don't.
be an awesome series. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know if I'll have time to pop in, but I'll try, especially if it's Bathurst, since it's a track I always quite liked and I always performed well at, no matter what car I was driving. So I think it helped a lot tonight, and in the first stint, just being in Ethan's draft and gaining my momentum and getting more comfortable and on race pace was quite nice as well. So.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny, as I mentioned in the broadcast, you in the YouTube chat, you'd come in and a name not familiar to a lot of the viewers in the YouTube. You said, "Well, it's my first time ever racing. I want to give it my best." And the guys are like, "Well, just take it easy. You can start in the pits if you want to." And you're like, "Start in the pits? No way! I'm going for the win." And you come out and you put out some amazing qualifying laps, and everybody was expecting you to be the noob, the guy that's first time in the car, and they're all like, yeah, just stay at the back and just take your time, and you come out and set down some amazing laps and really did a fantastic job for your first time here in the V8 Supercars Americas Series.
It really was.
I raced those on R-Factor a few years ago before I started on iRacing, but they felt quite different, but I guess it helped a little bit. I wasn't too it wasn't too strange for me to drive these cars, and I drove them a bit in hosted sessions in the past, so I knew what to expect more or less.
What do you normally drive, Will, as far as on the iRacing sim?
Mainly GT3. I quite like endurance racing as well, so a bit different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta be a little worried now because there's a big endurance series going on right now in the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series. So your inbox might get a little full when people see how well you've done and that you're really like endurance racing.
I don't know. We'll see about that.
Well, we sure do appreciate you coming by and having a chat with us, Will. As anytime you like, you're welcome to come anytime on the show. And uh, we, like I said, we'd really love to have you and see a little bit more of you here in the Americas series, if you'd like. And even if not, we wish you the best of luck in the GT3 series, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Will Levesque. Finished in second place tonight. A very impressive run. And like I said, really a surprise to a lot of folks. They weren't expecting that kind of performance, and he showed everybody he's got what it takes. All right, let's have a word with PJ Sturgios, the final member on the podium tonight. PJ, welcome to the post-race show. How are you tonight?
Hi, good. That was a challenging race, very long, but glad to get out of there without stuffing the thing in the fence and zero incidents.
Yes, sir. That is really an impressive feat all in itself. Zero incidents. Not only that, podium finish as well. Great run, PJ. And it just never seems to amaze me how diverse you are as a driver. You can go over and run ovals and then turn around and drive the V8 here at Bathurst and finish among some of the best of the best. It's just very impressive, and it just a great pace tonight. The car looked good. You looked good out there. And I don't know how you keep doing it, man, but congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. We put in a little bit of testing this week, me and William Levesque, and I think we got a pretty good setup here sorted out, so that helped a lot. Also, thanks to Team TTL for some really useful setup tips that I was missing to get the car where it is. But I was lucky to miss all the carnage there at the start. Luckily it all happened in my mirror and just barely missed Corey when he got out of shape there at the beginning of Conrad. So that was probably the scariest moment of the whole race for me. So, because other than that, it was just kind of cruising. I mean, you can only, if you want to call it that at this track, but I was able to keep it off the walls and just try to keep it pointed straight all the time, which is half the challenge at this track. But it was a lot of fun running these cars.
Yeah, it looked like you were having a really good time out there. It really did. Lots of fun. And for a little while, you started the race. You're out there in fourth, and we're kind of out having your own run, not in a lot of traffic. Once things kind of mellowed out, how are you coming into this race as far as the two-stop strategy? How are you looking to run?
Yeah, we pretty much, Will and I pretty much had this, the fuel all sorted out before the race. Didn't really, knowing it was going to be a two-stop, I didn't really want to try to screw that up. And, Ethan kind of got caught off guard a little bit, and I was able to sneak past him at the end because he was low on fuel. But I put in probably a little bit more than I should have, finished with a lap of fuel left. But better to have more than less, I suppose. But, congrats to Bo. It's crazy to see somebody go just be that hooked up around this place, but he's a master of the mountain, I guess. And hats off to him, and thanks to all Team DTL again, and all the sponsors over there, Pagneon, and everyone else for the support.
PJ, you had a great race here tonight. You had a great race last week in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series. You had a great race in the V8 Scups. Things are looking really good for PJ Sturgis.
Yeah, it's been a lot of seconds and thirds, and the last couple of weeks got second in NIS the other night. So hoping that win comes soon, one of these big races. Just need a little bit of luck on my side and be the right place at the right time. So if you keep being close enough, eventually that will happen. So gotta keep running like we have been.
Yeah, and I saw third in the standings in the Peak Antifreeze series as well, man. It's very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a good season over there as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is PJ Sturgios. It's always a pleasure to have him here. And next, let's bring in Marlon McMullen. Have a word with him. Marlon, welcome to the post-race show. How are you this evening?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. That was an absolutely thrill of a race, I'll tell you what.
It was a very, very fun race to watch, and it was fun, I'm sure, to drive as well. Tell us about your day at the mountain.
Oh, it's very fun, but also very scary. I mean, I went out there, had probably one of the worst qualification sessions I've ever had in my life. So I made things really, really tough for myself today. But yeah, I went out there with some positive thoughts and just thought, look, I'll just keep it nice and clean, and hopefully things will come my way. And yeah, settled into a little bit of a groove on the first few laps. Was happy to battle with Jake and Marty. I'm not sure what happened to Corey, but he looped it coming out of the Forest Elbow, which was terrifying for us because we couldn't see it. So I just sort of followed Jake and prayed for the best, and yeah, we got through it. You know, when in doubt, power out, and they got out that one pretty good, and continued on after that, and slowly sort of chased down the guys in front of me, and I watched Mitchell and Jake really start duking it out pretty hard. I noticed they came in really early, so I was quite questionable on the fuel scenario. I knew it was going to be extremely tight for them, but yeah, they came in pretty early, so I knew it was time to pretty much get the hammer down and start pushing and try and make a gap to them. So I did that for the next few laps, and then I came in and filled up the tank as full as I possibly could, took the long stop nice and early on, and came out a few seconds behind them and slowly hunted them down, and then I'll tell you what, I've never seen a car block the track up there before with Jake, Mitchell, and Crackers. That was a scary incident for those boys. But you know, I was able to find the gap and just get through it, same as Marty, and continued on after there, and took the short fuel stop in the end, and slowly tried to hunt down PJ. But then I started to realise Ethan was in a lot of crisis, and I was like, oh, he's running out of fuel because he came in way too early. So I knew I was really trying to catch him, you know, put the hammer down and everything I could just to catch up to him. And I finally caught him, and I felt really bad for him watching with that fuel issue because that's a crap way, you know, to go out today. But yeah, just got by him and put the hammer down, and he was able to come home in fourth, you know, after starting ninth. So it was a really nice day today. But you know, other than that, well done to Ethan. He's absolutely done a fantastic job this season, and he thoroughly deserves it, you know.
He does, and it was fun. We talked earlier before you got in here. It's going to be fun watching you. It was fun watching you defend the title this year, and it's going to be just as fun watching you prepare to go back and try to win it again. That's really looking forward to season 4, and I'm sure you got some things you want to prepare for before we get there. But as always, buddy, congratulations on a job well done this season. I know you wanted to win another championship, but now the table has been set for an awesome 2015 closeout season. It's going to be fun.
I do want to mention, Marlon, the points. We talked pre-race about how last season you had won the series by only 2 points, and what a great season it was last season, watching that thing come to the end with only 2 points. Postseason, we kind of got with the community, made some changes to the rules and to the point system, and we had the season that we did today. Check out the points at the end of this race. Ethan with 1920, you with 1782. Quite a big gap in points, but that's just the way the points were set up this season. But had they been like they were last season, Ethan would have got you, but it would have been by 4 points. It would have been such an amazing finish to the season. So I definitely think we got a lot to look at going postseason and after season 3 with the series and the point system and all that, and with the realistic track coming, making the series as realistic as possible might just be on the agenda.
I agree 100%. In fact, we'll bring up that in just a moment. I got 2 more drivers I want to give a shout out real quick. Let's bring in Marty Carroll real quick, have a word with our good buddy Marty. Marty, welcome to the post-race show. How are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful, buddy. Let's talk about your run tonight. Tell us about how the car felt out there, the good old Sim Pit Falcon.
Oh, the car was good until, like as you just noticed, I started having a few little connection flickers and stuff, and I was coming up into the cutting and it just glitched and blew my engine. So sort of just out of nowhere, it's just one of those things that unfortunately happens. And it seems to be my my Bathurst bogey. Seems that this race last season I did the same thing, going down to the chase, but that was my fault. missing the blip there. But other than that, no, it was a pretty solid hit out. There was, congratulations to Bo on being flawless today. It's unbelievable out front there, and awesome job by Will to come in and step up like the way he did. Those GT3 guys are definitely talented, and PJ, and my apologies and congratulations to Ethan on the championship, but my apologies for the wrong fuel numbers. And but I was in the garage and able to coach him into saving a ridiculous amount of fuel there to bring it home. So it's it was just one of those days. Unfortunately, the rest of the boys got caught up in some stuff, and so not the best hit out for the SDC boys overall, but we're still happy for Ethan securing the championship and the first part of the double, so which hasn't been done before. So, and for us Aussies, we do get another crack at it on Monday night. So we're definitely start preparing for that.
Absolutely, man. And, Marty, you really did have really good geese out on the track tonight. I was very impressed. I thought you had a really good race going, and so unfortunate with the connectivity issues, but that is not your fault. And hopefully that won't happen, anymore, and keep working what you're doing. I think you're definitely heading in the right direction as a race, as a driver. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to bring next season, man. It's another opportunity for you really to step up another notch. And I'm just looking forward to it, bud.
Yeah, no, definitely. Feel just driving pretty good at the moment. And after I had a bit of a rough mid-season, so it's sort of good to get some good results of late, and and have some consistent pace. And it was good, to be able to run with Marlon and the Snake and Mitch early on. That was a good ding-dong battle there, and sort of I lost a bit of time out of the pit stop, which was a bit unfortunate. For some reason, it picked me up again, and so I had a 19-second stop, and then it picked me up, for 1.8 seconds and dropped me back down. And so I lost a little bit of time there, but and then Mitch and Jake tripped over their own willies and gifted me and Marlon a couple spots, and I was looking forward to a good battle with him. But then, as you saw broadcast, and I started having a few issues, and so I had to back off a little bit, and lost contact with him, and then Healy got to me, and I thought I'll pit, and it was just just in a new place with new connections and stuff, so still a few little bugs I'm ironing out, but other than that, sort of quietly confident for Monday now.
Sounds great, buddy. Well, we wish all you guys the best of luck on Monday. And it's a great season here, a great way to close it out. Let's have a quick word with Rory Windrum real quick. He's been waiting ever so patiently. Rory, welcome to the post-race show. How are you tonight?
Pretty good, guys.
Man, I'm glad to hear that. It's to have you here. Thanks for being patient, waiting for an interview. I know we had some longer ones tonight, as it is the season-ending race. What was your thoughts on tonight's race, the 34-lap race at Bathurst, 2 pit stops, and what was your thoughts on it?
It's awesome. I love Bathurst. It's a great track to run, and the 2 pit stops. It definitely adds a different dynamic to the race. Planning out your strategy and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was good.
It was. It played a part in tonight's race. And I just thought it added so much more than our typical run at Bathurst. I hope that they continue to run a longer race at Bathurst. When we think of this track, we think endurance racing, and I just don't see us. I don't think a sprint run is proper for this track. I really enjoyed tonight's race, and I look forward to more like it. I thought it was a huge success. How did things feel for you as far as with the 2 stops?
I was good. I was a little worried because I ran Thursday night and pretty well. I mean, I had to pit a third fuel, but other than that, just making sure my average fuel was good, and yeah.
Well, obviously, paid off, and let's look at to next year, Rory. You've done a really good job this season, really stepped it up, and headed in the right direction. What's kind of the plan moving forward for season 4?
I think just getting more into the setups and trying to get a little bit more consistent. I'm actually going to be in a different city round 2 of the series and a night race, so that'll be pretty interesting with some coaching from a race team out there. So that'll be pretty cool to try out, and hopefully I learn lots of good stuff and up my pace and try to contend for try to get in the top split and consistent top 10s is I think is going to be the goal for next season.
Sounds perfect. That's a great to shoot for, and I definitely think you can get there. So we wish you the best, Rory. And as always, man, it's great to talk to you, and we wish you the best of luck next season. And really hope that we see you lots in the top split, and also get to see you up in that maybe a podium or two, maybe even a win.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
It definitely can happen, buddy.
Do want to congratulate Matthew Ross Monroe, who took that victory in the second split.
Yeah, for sure. He did a great job. Him and Tony had a good battle, and I think Tony lost it coming up in Skyline there because he had some damage, but they were battling for a good while. It was a good race up top, and he had way more pace at the start of the race than I did, and I just couldn't catch him near the end. He had about 20 seconds on me.
Wow, incredible stuff. And
yeah, I don't have the results to go through and see who did what or who finished where. Do you have the results up by chance for that race there, Rory?
I sure do. Do you want me to run through all 20 or?
Yeah, please.
All right. So as you know, Matthew Ross Monroe got first. I came in second. Mike Buzdine got in third there. Jason Hyde in fourth. Jeff Gauchi in fifth. Rogue Garcia got sixth. Adam Highland seventh. Daniel Avery 8th. Alexander Hebert at 9th. Raymond Stair 10th. Tony Klusterman ended up in 11th. William Bailey in 12th. Richard Tam in 13th. Andreas Rao in 14th. Mitchell Kolak in 15th. Kevin Overeem in 16th. Zachary Umpel in 17th. Mark Kelly in 18th. Richard Alward in 19th. And Ryan Shelton in 20th.
A lot of new names in the split there tonight, so fantastic to see so many people show up for such a great race here at Bathurst.
Absolutely. There ended up being 3 splits in total, so 60 drivers total, it looks like.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Man, it is always such a good turnout for Bathurst, and we always see new names show up, and it never disappoints. I'm telling you, every time we race here, it's just it's so entertaining, and it was again tonight. Sounds like the second split was just as good as the top split was tonight, and we're going to carry that in with that. So we'll close out our 2015 season 3. We got a lot of big changes coming up for season 4. So if you guys enjoyed any part of this season, you are going to love our 4th season of 2015. The year has flown by, guys. But like Kane mentioned earlier, a lot of people that weren't around in the summer over here in the United States, they'll be back as the fall's coming around, and real motorsports are starting to slow down. So they'll be returning back, as Kane said, to their computers and to their sim rigs to do some sim racing. And it's going to get really intense. I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully we have some small changes in how the points work. And I would like to see us kind of revert back to the way it was before this year. I think it worked out a little better. But just in my opinion, one of those IMOs. Guys, anything else before we close out our broadcast for the night?
No, I don't. I think, well, I've got the points totaled here for the season, so that'll be up on the forums right away and on the Facebook page.
Fantastic.
As opposed to my usual 3 or 4 days past the race time, but I've got it done. done early. My wife was gone and the baby's gone, so I had lots of time.
The
No
drivers will
worries.
appreciate that after a nice long season, being able to go the same night to check out the points and everything to finish out the season. That's awesome. So thanks to you for putting in the effort to take care of our points this season, because that's no small job.
Not a problem. I'm trying to find a better way of importing everything into Excel. So if anybody likes to play with macros, they can send me a message. Because I'm gonna try and get something to import a lot quicker, and then I'll definitely be able to have all of the results up every night right after the Friday night race.
Yeah, it won't be me because I have no idea what you just said.
I don't either. I was like, okay. But I do understand Excel. It can help you tremendously. You just plug those formulas in, and it sounds. I made it sound a lot easier than it is. But yeah, it that would help tremendously if you could just plug in the results and let it do the calculating for you, and there you go. That would be the ideal way to do it. But the problem is we couldn't change the points every season, because then you'd have to change the Excel program, and that would be a headache.
Yeah,
But
it's a small dream right now, but maybe with some time I can make it a reality.
hey, that's it. That's how all reality happens. It all starts as a dream, and I'm already dreaming of season 4, guys.
Same here.
Yeah, with the dynamic tracks coming, things are just really going to pick up, I think, for the America Series. I think season 4 is really going to be hot because the dynamic tracks coming. I think there's a couple small changes to the cars, and yeah, I think season 4 is going to be fantastic.
I think with the Bathurst 1000 coming in too, it's going to be a lot more people are going to be interested in the V8 supercars as well.
I do too. It's peak up. And I think that's where we'll close her out, guys, is on a high note. Looking forward to our season 4. We want you guys all to enjoy the week off next week and enjoy week 13. Enjoy the new build. It's coming September 8th. iRacing's got a lot of big stuff for us. And we are going to enjoy our week off next week, but then we'll be even happier when we get back for week 1. Guys, one more time, congratulations is in order for Bo Cattell on winning tonight's event, and a huge congratulations to Ethan Grigalt for winning the big prize and taking the championship here in season 3, guys. It has been a really fun time, and we're 3/4 of the way done with our year. Don't miss the icing on the cake that will be season 4 from V8s Online. I'm JD Smith, Kane Craft with me. Kane, I enjoyed the call tonight with you, buddy, as always, and I look forward to another great season with you. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you next season. Out of opportunities. Incredible move. What a deserved victory. We try, out. Brilliant job. And now we got a race for the lead.
He's off into the wall.
He's going to go to the inside.